Start streaming. I think we're back.
Let me check. We are in fact back. Let's also reset a link. Give it a second.
Does it create a new URL? I have not. It did. All right, we are back live.
We sure are.
All right. I think we're looking at pick 3 currently.
Yes.
We are, in fact, all the way back, as the kids are saying.
The pick is ready, too.
All right. We're good to announce it. With the 3rd overall pick, the Montreal Patriots will be selecting Chuck Stewart, user G-Hams, a right defenseman, coming out of the Carolina Kraken. 7 took G-Hams in the S79 SHL Draft. He's been a S79 SHL intern. He's a very, very easy person to scout, very kind and funny, very easy to have a conversation with. It's a fantastic pick for Montreal. He's got an excellent bank. A lot more is going to be coming in. The TP is all there. This is an absolute dynamite pick for Montreal, and they're getting a gem for sure.
Yeah, top tier pick here. I have to commend CK and the Patriots for really keeping this one under wraps. You know, prospects work hard to try to find mock draft info. Other GMs work hard to try to figure out what's going on behind the scenes so they can project who's going to be available to them. And for me, at least, I had no idea this pick was coming, but great first gen, awesome media, fantastic pick here for Montreal at 3.
Yeah, I honestly, I until today, I was like, I have no idea who Montreal's going to go. And then I thought about it, like, you know, 7's there, G-Hams is amazing. It makes a lot of sense to connect the two. He's just JGM. But yeah, it's a great pick. Excellent selection by the Patriots for sure.
Yeah, Montreal's really looking to make that next step forward here this season. They've already been down in the tank for a while. They've gone out and gotten guys like Tack that chose them, and basically a free agency experience. So they've got really good people to build around, and they're looking to take that next step. And you know, bringing in a first gen like Gams can be that shot in the arm of activity that a locker room needs to really click together and take that step forward. So.
That will bring us to pick 4 on the clock. It's the Manhattan Rage. And yeah, everyone get angry and yell at someone in honor of this pick. COA, they've also been doing a rebuild. I think it's about a season before Montreal started. They're in a very similar boat. A lot of great talent coming in. A lot of great picks on the roster and developing. But we'll see where they're looking to go.
Can see where they want to go.
Yep, at 4, the Manhattan Rage are going to be selecting Johnny Hockey, the user Brandadier. Again, another person with first gen, excellent bank account, excellent TP account. They're doing they're not a big hockey fan, but they're doing kind of like a role playing thing where they're the like the epitome of hockey, the all around player. Kind of having like a super balanced build where they put TP in literally everything. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a good pick for them. He's a very friendly guy to talk to. Again, he's a fellow nerd, likes D&D, tabletop role playing games, and it's gonna be a good pick for them.
Yeah, I had some good chats with Brandadier. Also teammates with him in Kelowna. He's been a great shot in the arm. I use that term too much already, but really good activity level for the Knights. Really enjoyed being his teammate, and this is a good pick for Koa in Manhattan.
Yeah, I like. He's been. I did my own little mock draft, not to brag about my media, but Brandadier was someone I had put a pin in. They've been really quiet, but I like they have a promising aura.
Yeah, no, I think CO is doing a great job. He's got candidates there who's absolutely awesome. It's his co-GM. Curry's kicking it there, and who doesn't love Curry? Yeah, it's a solid team. Definitely on the upswing.
Yeah, I really think this pick. I think he could become one of the best players in this class. I'll be real. Fifth is Minnesota.
Yeah, at 5, Minnesota is on the clock. This is after a trade down with Edmonton. The Monarchs are looking to help bring in someone, hopefully to someone with a lot of activity, some long time knowledge of the league. It's my understanding, the rumors abound were. So we're waiting to see, but I think a lot of people know who Minnesota has had their eye on for a while. And we'll see who they pick here.
Yes, we are ready, so we can find out.
All right.
Did they get their first overall target still?
That is the question. At 5, the Minnesota Monarchs are selecting Grindle Waters Johnson, the user Waters, coming in with a bank account just over the massive contract he's received in the past, and an excellent TPE pace, being amongst the leaders. Waters has really shown a lot of energy in this draft cycle. He's been an excellent, helpful resource to the rookies. Been very active in trying to mock draft. Been very open about his desire to help in management as well. And I think it's going to be a great pick for Eddie to help in with the kind of culture he's trying to build in Minnesota. He'll be somewhat active to bounce ideas off of and work in the war room. And I think it's going to be a great pick for the Monarchs moving forward.
Yeah, I think he's exactly the kind of player that Minnesota needs right now. I think that's a really good pick.
Yeah, I think Waters is excellent. He has that management experience, and he's going to be a dynamo for the Monarchs moving forward. Absolutely.
The one thing I'll say about this pick is that you can tell that Waters is 100% locked in on helping the Monarchs take that next step. Ton of passion for that franchise already. You can tell that he's going to bleed that green and gold for the team up there in Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. It will bring us to our pick 6 on the clock, though. I believe we are eyeing the Chicago Syndicate after their trade up. We'll be back on the clock here, making their second selection of the draft. Some excellent names still abound. We'll be saying that throughout this entire class, basically, because this class is absurd. Nike and Slicer, they've got a lot of choices to make. Honestly, I'll say for myself as well, there were a lot of hard choices to make in this class. Just so many great people. It's really hard to pick between them. You got to make like Sophie's choice, but draft picks,
Well, if Sophie's ready to make her choice, we are ready to announce the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Chicago taking.
Yeah, so
Snooks. Sorry.
All good. Yeah, Aleris will be heading to the Syndicate. Coming in with, again, very solid TP, a solid bank account. Just finished a pretty long-term GMing gig in Nevada. Aleris is one of those great people who you ride or die with. He's really easy to talk to. He's really fun. You could always, adding Aleris to your locker room is always a plus. He's a great guy. Won a cup with him in Edmonton. He jokes he was the final piece because we won the season. We brought him in. Even though he was on our third line, he's kind of a bum. But yeah, Aleris is fantastic. It's a wonderful pick by Chicago, and they're gonna love him there.
I always have a joke with Nike that we've worked together in the past too much, and we know each other because I swear to God, our draft lists are always exactly the same. So Winnipeg was up at 7, and Aleris was a name that we had highlighted, circled, bolded, all that kind of stuff. And sure enough, I feel like it's not a draft unless I DM Nike profanity at least 3 times. But fantastic pick, fantastic user. I had Aleris come in and join us in Winnipeg at the twilight of their career. Really enjoyed them in the locker room. And once again, between Fresh and Aleris, it's a heck of a start to this draft for the Chicago Syndicate. Well done.
Yeah, that's a fantastic group to be bringing in for sure. This will bring us to pick 7, the Winnipeg Aurora on the clock. They have 3 of the next 4 selections, interrupted only by a sole Edmonton pick. So we'll see what GM Ace is out here cooking up in Winnipeg as they're going through a bit of a retool. Some long-time pillars of the franchise a couple seasons ago moved on, and Rashford and Soderberg. So we'll see what he's cooking up to have the next phase of the Aurora going on.
Yeah, we're on like year 3 of a heavy rebuild. Last few drafts, we've had 3 or 4 first-round picks, so this is going to be another one in that arena. So without further ado, Sim, are you ready to show who we are selecting at 7?
You are ready to go.
All right, let's do it. At 7 overall, we are ecstatic to welcome back S. Burbine to the Winnipeg Aurora. Burb, my biggest regret as a GM is that I didn't let you play your entire career as an Aurora. You did that little stop in Minnesota. Shout out to Eddie for that draft haul I got. It really helped me with the rebuild. But Burbine, I am so stoked to have you back and have you helping us as we take this next stage as a next step as a franchise in the rebuild. So really, really happy. Huge bank account. Great guy in the locker room. Managerial experience. Currently the GM of the Berserkers. Just stoked to make this pick.
Yeah, I everything you said is true from my end as well. Burb is a wonderful person. He's the GM of the Newfoundland Berserkers. Go Zerks. They were my team when I came back, and I've kind of stuck with them, sticking in the locker room, and they've just been a great community for a long time. And he's a wonderful person. He's really easy to talk to. He's got a lot of knowledge. A very smart guy. He's got that big bank, like you said, and he's going to be a pillar down the middle for you for seasons to come, for sure.
It sounds like they're here because of all the thievery you've done in the drafts. I heard the sirens in the background. If they're coming for you, finally.
Yeah, they're always trying to find me, but I live too high up. It's well known Toronto police are scared of heights.
Well, back to Edmonton, I believe, for pick number 8.
Oh, those guys. Yeah, I guess the Blizzard are on the clock at pick 8. A lot of long-time Blizzard, not a lot, but a couple long-time Blizzard players in the class, including a cup-winning goal scorer in Diana Captina. I'm sure I mispronounced that, Val. Don't DM me. I'll just apologize up front. As well as, Javelin Bodine, the user Blix, was my first pick when I became a GM again. But there's also some excellent first gens, so there were a lot of options to consider at this point. And let's see who I picked.
Yep, here you go.
And we took Royen Arma. I'm sure I mispronounced that. If you want to fix the pronunciation, you're here. If not, also okay. We took Ara, left defenseman. The TP is a bit low. They started off a bit busy, didn't understand that PTs were a weekly task, that you couldn't just do a bunch of them all together. But since then, they've earned everything. They've been electric in the SHL general chat, chatting constantly. Anyone who's talked with them can tell you that they're a wonderful person, very friendly to talk to, talks about a lot of stuff, sports, feed stuff, I'm sure. All sorts of great things to talk about, and they've been a genuinely wonderful person to scout, and we're beyond ecstatic to bring them in.
Had great chats with Ara. Really enjoy playing games with Ara. Great pick here. Another fantastic first-generation player for the Blizzard to bring it in and continuing that rebuild. I hope you guys continue the rebuild forever, by the way.
Yeah, I'm actually just thinking that we just keep cycling the players for picks, and we don't actually contend ever.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's a lot more fun that way. But that'll bring Winnipeg on the clock for 9 and 10. Back-to-back selections coming.
Yeah, we had our short list of players we were really interested in this draft, and pleased to get the majority of them that I was really looking for. At number 9, when you were ready, Sim, why don't you go ahead and send it?
Yep. Good. It's just in time. It's just ready. I had to make sure I got the
Excellent.
right one.
At number 9, it's no secret that when Rashford departed to go to LA, it was bittersweet because obviously Rashford's a really close friend of mine. We worked together in Winnipeg forever. He wasn't quite ready to hang him up, and it was a waste of his career to have him playing these seasons in Winnipeg for as long as he did. So he went to LA. Shout out to Bytor for stepping up and helping out for a few seasons. But we ended up having a vacancy at the co-GM position. And some of the most entertaining discussions I've had with the first gen this class were with Leaky Syn. And it became clear that they were looking to step up and take on more responsibility and assume a general management role in this league. And it made sense. They sent me a comprehensive document for their application. Big hockey fan over in Detroit. Really, really, really enjoyed it. So happy to make this pick, welcoming in Leaky Syn to the Winnipeg Aurora, and actually live on stream, naming Leaky Syn the official co-general manager of the Winnipeg Aurora. So welcome in.
Yeah, so I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Syn, when we were scouting, and he said he might consider like applying for your co-GM position, he told me like, I was hoping to go to you, but I really like talking with Ace, and I'm like, if you want to get in a management spot, this Winnipeg team, you couldn't hope for a better spot to get into co-GMing with. Like, you just have so much knowledge. I think you guys would fit together really well. I told him, like, do it. Like, that's going to be a wonderful fit for both of you. And, yeah, I'm really excited to see him go to you if he wasn't coming to us. Great person. I'm in the Yukon locker room. Spent a lot of time there, and Sync's been a really funny guy, really active, earning his TPE, and I think he's going to be a really good fit for you. Absolutely.
Yeah. I forgot you guys were looking for a co-GM. I think that'll be I think he'll make a great co-GM.
Yeah, and the cool thing is when you can involve, HIF knows this, many GMs in this league know this, but when you can involve a first gen that has that much passion for the community already, and you can get them to buy in on your franchise as that place that they can really channel that passion for without any previous connections or anything like that from recreates, it can be a really, really productive thing, and I'm super excited about what we can channel that into here for the Aurora as this next wave of great young talent come through. So. And then number 10, we're up again, baby. We're not done now.
Wait, there's more.
Back to back.
We're ready. You got it. Here you go.
Let's go. Number 10, Jeremy Snugglemuffin III. Look at that, just beautiful render. I want to just pet the heck out of Jeremy. What a great little kitty. Schwarz, we've had, once again, similar to Aleris, when we were looking to just kind of continue pushing that wave of contention along and continue to try to win a Challenge Cup here in Winnipeg, we went and grabbed some people that, A, fit us budgetary-wise, and then B, culturally. And Schwarz is just a fantastic person all around. Current commissioner of the SMJHL, I'm working with her in the head office role over there. Great leader, great person. I had some of the shortest scouting conversations I've had with a prospect this class. Schwarz was like, I don't care where I go, I just want to be surprised. So I think we sent like maybe 3 sentences back and forth to each other. So I am pleased to report that Schwarz is surprised, and we are stoked to bring her in and help us re-solidify this blue line here in Winnipeg for the future.
Yeah, Schwarz is you're bringing the SMJHL commissioner, someone dedicated to the league. Someone who's put a lot of time and effort to them, someone who's built a great player before with the Moose, now a Snuggle Muffin per se, a cat. And yeah, it's going to be a great pick to help build that blue line out for.
And unfortunately, I could not get 3 picks in a row, so I'm going to have to step back on this next one.
Yeah, pick 11 will be on the clock. At 11, we have... the
New England.
New England Wolfpack. Luke is I'd say it's accurate to call him a bit of an enigma. I I can never really read where he's going to draft, but he generally does very well, as you can tell by his long-time contending New England teams. And yeah, we're going to see what direction he decided to go with this time.
Just about.
You can't argue with results, man. As much as it pains me that he got 2 of those cups for me, I think I beat him. I don't know. Maybe he only got 1 for me. I don't know.
No,
I lost too many. I don't want to talk about it.
It was a 1 and 2
I wasn't going to bring it
deal,
up.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. But great GM. As one of the founding fathers of the New England Wolfpack, it brings me immense joy to continue to see that franchise just absolutely flourishing. So excited to see what they're going to do with this pick.
Well, here it is.
At pick 11, the New England Wolfpack are selecting Hot Dog Lunch, Papa John, and yes, that is Phil Kessel in a cowboy hat. The Ottawa Highlanders selected Papa John this past class, pick 9. He's been a very well-earning player, even if the bank account is a bit low currently. I'm sure they're gonna work on fixing that as soon as possible. But he's a really funny dude. He's really friendly. Him and his buddy Coot Daddy joined together. They're both really similarly just hilarious individuals to have around, and that's going to be a dynamic combo for the locker room, and I think a good player for him.
Yeah, great pick. Somebody in my war room said that Papa John is probably his pick out of all the first gens this draft. Was teammates with them over in Colorado. Just really, really top-notch guy. So great pick here by New England. Obviously, they've really enjoyed their scouting chats.
And this will bring us to the Philadelphia Forge, who are on the clock after. I don't know about you, but I always like these two teams, New England and Philadelphia, I always had together because they were like so successful for so long in the Eastern Conference. You just knew, well, when it was me and you coming out of the West, it was pretty much you knew you were facing one of these two in the finals. And you kind of dread them a little bit, you know?
Absolutely. I just felt like I would lose to one or the other one in the final if I made it. So
We did.
we did. Yeah, it's true. Yep, we did.
3 times between them, I think.
Yep. All right, let's move on. I'm done with this.
Yeah, we got their pick.
Yeah, with the Forge at pick 12, they will be selecting Barcus Juno, the
Great
user
pick.
Ice Windu. This is the first gen who's been popping out media left, right, and center. Very cool stat-driven media. Defenseman in a prime position with excellent TP and a bank account. Maybe not the most chatty person in the locker room, but you're getting a person who loves the league, loves the stat aspect of the league, and loves earning clearly. It's going to be a dynamite pick for them moving forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would have picked. I have Juno as like a top 5 pick, in my opinion.
No, yeah, they're very good. I think a lot. There's so much in this class that just comes down to like very tight decisions. It's not like this person was years ahead of everyone else. You're just making like razor thin margin decisions at this point because there's so many good people.
And at that point, you really have to just kind of lean toward who you think's going to click the most with the rest of your room. Because this is all, I mean, making the SHL, it's not an instantaneous process. It takes a lot of dedication and time and effort. And if you have somebody that's not 100% locked in, your odds of maybe having them not pan out into a serviceable NHL player, those odds go significantly up. So obviously Philadelphia really enjoyed the media that Icewind was doing, their conversations, and they have faith in this particular user clicking more than maybe others that they were looking at. So great pick. You can't argue with results. And yeah, I love it.
This will bring us to pick 13. The Buffalo Stampede are on the clock. Vandy, a fairly new GM coming in here. He's brought some energy. Definitely a bit of a different vibe from Tom and I will say in terms of their chattiness and general demeanor. Tom and more of a quiet, reserved, intelligent type, and Vandy's got some crazy stories. I do love whenever Vandy's chatting because it's going to be fucking entertaining for sure.
Yeah, I will say that to echo your sentiments, Tommen is always very calm, cool, and collected. And there's a good reason why I don't think I ever made a single trade with him, because he's very good at evaluating his assets' value. And I consider myself decently good at that. So the math kind of mathed, and I ended up not ever doing
1 or 2 trades with Tommen, and I'm pretty sure I ended up regretting everything that ever happened.
Yeah. Tommen was very good about that, and learned that from his predecessor with Wannabe Finn. So that franchise is continuing down a good path. Vandy is a smart individual. I'm interested to see what the Stampede are doing here in a really highly competitive Eastern Conference.
We are ready, so we can jump right to that.
Yep. So at pick 13, this one hurts the heart for sure. The Buffalo Stampede are taking Deanna Captina. These are Val picks heading there. There are very few people who have the level of passion for the SHL IHF. Perhaps none more than Val picks. I think she likes it more than the SHL, if I'm being honest. Just a person who loves international hockey to the utmost. A long time user on their last player, earned very well. Didn't quite at 2K, but they were a top pairing defenseman. Won, I think, best defenseman once or twice on their last player. Coming in with a new style of a defensive centerman. Going to be excellent in Buffalo. And yeah. I hate to see it, but I think it's going to be great for Vandy. And this will bring pick 14 on the clock. That will be the New Orleans Spectres. Or will it? We have a trade to announce.
Yes, I do not have the trade ready yet. But there is indeed a trade.
It's not a super huge trade, so it's not like we're moving 9 picks again or something. So it won't be too hard. But there will be a move happening at the moment. New Orleans is looking to move out of the 14th spot. Joe, been here a long time. We'll see where he's looking to move the pick.
Still working on it here. It's okay, it'll just be a second.
I can, however, confirm that Sink has already made it to the GM chat. He's getting his co-GM on, so congrats to him again.
Very excited about that.
Do we have it?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have Jeff Merrick around to leak the draft to the media.
Yeah, you always want a Jeff Merrick or is Shams the NBA guy?
Oh, yeah. Jeff Merrick's going to start a new podcast called 32 Leaks.
Well, please tell me they didn't replace him with Steve Dangle on that podcast.
No, they got, who's the Kyle Bukakis thing?
Kyle Bukaki?
Yeah, Kyle Bukaki. That's who they got, yeah. Kyle Proboscis? I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, well, as long as it's not Steve Dangle, I'm good.
No.
What we do know is what the trade is for now.
Excellent. So at 14, the New Orleans Spectres will be moving pick 14 to the Minnesota Monarchs in exchange for the 18th overall selection and the 28th overall selection of this class. Minnesota will be on the clock. At 14, the Minnesota Monarchs, they're rumored to have a lot of targets, and we'll see who they're looking to grab at this spot here.
Yep, and it will be ready in just a second because I could not remember who the trade was to.
Yeah, totally fine.
All right. Think. Yes. There we go. All right, Minnesota at 14 is ready.
All right, at 14, the Minnesota Monarchs are selecting Jason 97, the player Norman Marino. Jason is a long time SHL user. He's been around a long time.
As long as us?
Close. He's close. Not quite.
Yeah.
But he's close.
Yeah.
But I do remember him and he had a good buddy who they used to chat all the time. You'd see them out, and he was much smarter than his other buddy who is no longer here. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's really friendly. He's a bit of an aberration, being a Sens fan who lives in Quebec. So that's probably a little boo-worthy. But he's a fantastic pick for Minnesota to move up for. The TP's there, the bank's there, the person is there. It's a great selection for him, absolutely. This will bring us to 15 with the Atlanta Inferno on the clock. And if any of you have been paying any attention, this probably shouldn't be that much of a surprise pick. However, I'll preface this by saying there's a player Atlanta had on their last player who was their top pairing defenseman when they were a pretty dominant team in the 60s, played their entire career there. And hopefully they're bringing them back here, but we'll see. I know, attention to this economy is pretty hard, Zach. Too expensive.
Oops. I don't know if that would have worked, but we can find out if
Excellent.
they go that direction.
Yep, at pick 15, the Atlanta Inferno are selecting Puddles O'Duckling. The user Z-Wiz. We talked to them. Z-Wiz is awesome. He's a great guy. He's really friendly, but he wanted to go back to Atlanta, which you got to respect. If you build a community back where you just want to keep running back with them and working towards building that goal, that's great. Like to have people who love being in that one spot so much. It's really a testament to what they've done over there, and I think Z-Wiz is going to. They're going to be excited to be able to bring Z-Wiz back. And we'll see how the future of the Inferno look with Puddles O'Duckling, the Oregon mascot's kid, I guess, coming up. I believe the son of Puddles O'Duck, his last player. We'll take this time. I know LAP doesn't have a first-round pick or many picks this draft. But we'll give a shout out to them for their cup win this season.
Congrats, Panthers.
Yeah, they're they put together an excellent roster. They have for a long time. They've kicked some absolute ass for a hot minute, and it's a well-deserved cup win. Whitecap is first as the head GM after the departure of Fuzz as head GM. So congrats to them.
Yeah, and also shout out to Tampa Bay for making the Cup final and making a decent run there. You guys are pretty close. LA obviously won in Game 6 to bring it home, but Tampa had them sweating. I know firsthand from some of the people that were in that war room that they were, specifically Jess and Rashford were like, "Oh no, is this Winnipeg all over again?" But luckily they were able to get it across the line. So personally, shout out to Rashford, shout out to Jess. I know that they were playing big roles over there. Glad to see them in the twilights of their career get another one across the line. Really good friends of mine, so happy for them.
Fully agree. This will bring us to pick 16 on the clock. The Edmonton Blizzard will be selecting. I know you might have heard that once or twice so far. And they're followed by, again, the Winnipeg Aurora. Ace does love the follow-up act to me, it seems.
There's a joke to be made there, but I'm gonna take the high road here. Yeah. This is gonna be a little bit of an interesting pick for me when I'm up. But go ahead. Why don't you do yours first?
Yeah. So at pick 16, we're getting someone who I had in very strong consideration for 8. I'm very excited to be bringing back Javelin Bodine. These are Blix 900. We had him on his last player. He's my first pick when I was GM. His player name is also. This is. My friend's dad wanted to name my best friend this when he was a kid. That got shut down, so that's not actually his name. I'm not doxing him. But yeah, just imagine the possibility of your name having been Javelin Bodine. But his bank's excellent. The TP's there. He had a rookie of the year, possible MVP consideration level season as a defenseman in Anchorage in his first year in the SMJHL. We're beyond ecstatic to bring back Blix. And we're bringing him home for sure. And this will bring the Aurora on the clock at 17.
Yeah, before we do that, I do want to comment that Blix is a great player. Bruins fan. I've had him out on my Bruins podcast, actually. Goalie. Really enjoyed my conversations with him in the past. And good pick here. I think it's a value pick.
Oh yeah, big time. But I know in my heart that he wanted to be here, so I'm glad to bring him back. But 17, we're gonna need some thought process on you here when you announce the pick your ace, because there's more going into it from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we owned this. This is a first round pick that we have here, and we were just looking to make the best pick available, right? So we had some good chats with the individual that we selected here. We were pretty excited about that, but then some news came down the pipe, and maybe we make some changes. So why don't we? Do we have the pick ready?
Yep.
All right. Christina Fantovens. Really liked our brief conversations with Fantovens. They've got a history in the league. Very active in Discord. I was very excited about the potential of bringing in Fantovens to the Winnipeg locker room, but. I received a DM very quickly after I made that selection, informing me that they had some discussions with the Buffalo front office to become the co-general manager over in Buffalo.
My God, is that the trade music?
So, not to announce this publicly for everyone else, but I was like, all right, well, you had a first-round pick earlier. You could have drafted him there, and they elected not to. So you're going to have to make this worth my while. And we made an agreement to send Fantomans over to Buffalo.
We actually can announce it, as Vandy has let us know that Christina Fantomans will be the next co-GM of the Buffalo Stampede.
Congratulations.
That's good 2 choice. Co-GMs in this class being announced on stream. Pretty cool.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Yes, and it is actually a pair of trades that we have to announce before we move on entirely. But yeah, that Winnipeg logo won't last too long on the old card for Fantomans there. But it's a good little trivia piece, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, other people who've been in this situation, Kobe Bryant. I'm not saying he's going to be Kobe, but if he is, one of us is going to look pretty bad. But yes, so the first, just let us know we're ready for said trades.
Yep, I am waiting. I will let you know as soon as we have it. you want to take a minute and chat while it's prepared.
Yeah, well, I will say it is a pretty interesting coincidence that both the named co-GMs in this draft are coming from the Yukon Malamutes. I don't know what flu's cooking over there in Yukon, but apparently it's management material, and seems to be panning out pretty well.
Well, and on that note too, I mean, you just recently saw Bad Wolf move up from the co-GM position in Yukon and take on the co-GM position in San Francisco. So we're having Malamutes take on these positions of authority in the league all over.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome to see the people from Yukon come in, and now they're I'm going to have to be fighting with them over all their draft picks in the coming future.
Meanwhile, my daughters are arguing, so I might need to step away and play the ref. Linesman, break them up. The 7-year-old's got a better punch than the 11-year-old.
That's what personal lessons do, right? When you're teaching them how to throw them. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Just bear with us.
We went to our first hockey game this morning. I got to wear my official coach vest and everything, and she got out there. We were absolutely destroyed by a score of 7-1. So, when they say 8 and under for the league division, apparently other teams think that means that you need to stack your roster with 7-year-olds, and my 3-4-year-olds just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, they'll get there. I'm sure.
Yeah, give me 3 years.
Yeah. Just bear with us, though. We are putting the trade in the back end to be able to announce it.
Yep. We're just sorting out which exactly which ones are we're putting in there. Just making sure we get the right things listed down there. I think it's actually 2 trades that we have to.
No, because we already did the 18 trade. That was Minnesota and New Orleans.
I believe that there's a Buffalo trade here before they trade for Fantabens. I believe they have to acquire something that they use in that trade. As I don't believe that trade was public beforehand.
Yeah, we don't have to announce that one. That's not under scope. They'll get that push on there, and we're just doing the draft stuff.
It has the 20th pick, which is why.
Yeah. But
So right now Minnesota has the 20th pick, and
Buffalo's gonna acquire. Okay,
Buffalo
yeah,
acquires
fair enough.
that pick.
It was announced prior, but Buffalo is trading Johnny Patey to the Minnesota Monarchs for pick 20, and Buffalo will receive pick 20 for again Johnny Patey, heading to Minnesota to help with their back end. There. Now we just focus on the straight.
Yes, so Buffalo now has 20, which I think where's my page? This one. Which they then use in this trade. Oh, I didn't click transition. That makes more sense. There you go.
Yep. So Christina Fantabens will be sent to Buffalo as well as the S81. I believe that's the Los Angeles Panthers second.
That's correct.
And Winnipeg will receiving pick 20 this class as well as New Orleans S82
That's
first round pick. So 2 firsts in exchange for Fantabens and a second. And that will bring the Minnesota Monarchs on the clock at pick 18. But again, Fantabens going to Buffalo to become the new co-GM.
Yes.
Yep, and we pick up another first out of it, so happy with that.
Yeah, so it's actually 20 goes quickly to Buffalo, quickly back to Winnipeg, so we will get that updated, but it is still Minnesota on the clock right now. And let me make sure I get the, I should get that pick ready. Where are we? 18. Wait. No, this is not Minnesota. Sorry. We're a little mixed up here, I think. Yes, Minnesota acquired 14 and sent 18 to New Orleans. So this is actually New Orleans on the clock right now.
Correct. Yeah, and we'll have that pick coming in very shortly.
Oh god. All over the place, I'm clicking my buttons. Hold on.
Yeah, people that know there's a lot of buttons to click on Sim's end, so respect them for doing
complex. So thank you, Symmetric. Appreciate your effort today.
So this one is New Orleans. I'll just update that quickly. Minimizing tabs that I don't want to minimize. Alright, so New Orleans has this current pick, which they acquired earlier from Minnesota. Pick 20 will be Winnipeg, but New Orleans is here, and this pick is ready.
Yep, at pick 18, the New Orleans Spectres will be selecting Nanache Moumet. These are Valor X77. Their last player played in New Orleans. Seemed to like it there. It was a good fit for both teams. We definitely say about Valor is they have a lot of passion for the league, and they're going to be heading to a great landing spot in New Orleans, where clearly they're very liked. And helping with a very solid base of a team moving forward.
Yeah, as long as Valor can stay bought in on the Spectres, this has the potential of being a draft steal. Just considering the drive, the bank account, the passion, it's a puzzle piece that fits well within the New Orleans landscape over there. So only time will tell, but exciting to see Valor land and be ready to prove people wrong.
This will bring pick 19, the Tampa Bay Barracuda, on the clock.
Yes. Who was that pick? That's a great question. Yes.
DK did his, classic scouting day of draft that he's become known for in these parts. He's told me he's leaning into the meme and just started scouting today, which I find hilarious and I love to see. But yeah, we'll see who the Tampa Bay Barracuda, Miami Vices are looking up this class.
Well, I have your answer for that one right now.
At pick 19, the Tampa Bay Barracuda are selecting Teddy Blues. The user Yosh heading to Tampa Bay. I know that they wanted to end up in Seattle. Seattle didn't have any picks. It was looking like for a while. And, Yosh is a wonderful person in the locker room. Brings in a lot of activity. A lot of gifts of Vancouver Canucks players or very small, European prospects you've never heard of who have Canucks gifts. But he's a good guy, and DK's making a good pick here. Had a wonderful career with his last player, all with one team as well.
Yeah, great pick here. I confess I'm not too well versed in Yosh. I haven't really talked with him a whole lot. Our paths haven't really crossed. I didn't do a lot of scouting with him, but obviously I got a DM from another GM that was looking to trade up and acquire my pick at 17 to jump ahead of Tampa Bay to draft this particular user. So they are really well received and really well valued across the community, and obviously going to be a good pick for the Barracuda.
Yeah, apologies on the NAs in the draft screen there. I think the spreadsheet doesn't like Thunder Bay. I think.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't like recreates, I think, from Thunder Bay.
It seems to specifically the error here is that it did not find the value Thunder Bay walleye in the VLOOKUP. So I'm just not sure exactly where it is to fix that. So I can't. It's a bit hard to fix that on the fly here. But apologies to both Ziwiz and Yosh for your missing names.
Yeah, we do have our last pick of the first round on the clock. The Winnipeg Aurora picking again. Technically, they're what? Fifth pick made in this first round. Just absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, I don't know who else does that type of stuff.
I couldn't name a single person who would ever do anything like that.
But it's only going to be the fourth one that we're going to keep, and we are going to be keeping this pick here. And we decided we've got some good recreates in Burbine and Schwarz and Fantobins, even though we didn't keep that one. But why don't we add another first gen to the mix here at 20th overall? And we're very excited to announce this pick.
There you go.
Had some awesome chats with Coot Daddy Earl Biggins, who was selected first overall by the Malamutes last SMJHL draft. He's a goalie in real life as well, so we're commiserating over that. He didn't realize that there were as many Bruins fans in this world during my scouting chat, so I'm excited to ruin his life by how much I talk about this team. Yeah, really excited about this. We got to get that bank account up, but with the passion that they already have so far, I think that's not going to be a problem. And with that Stamkos render as a defenseman, that's you're going to see some big clap bombs from the point.
So one of my favorite things to talk about Coot Daddy is that before he's picking one for Yukon, we had a voice chat. We were just talking about like shooting the shit, and he sounds like a person who should be named Earl Biggins in the best way possible. He's got that great like Southern accent. Really friendly guy. He got a new job recently, so he's been working through that. Has a kid of his own, so he's a busy guy. But when he's in the locker room, he's always incredibly funny. Really lively to have around. Just a great dude. I do know that my co-GM Egg is probably crying that we weren't able to bring in Coot Daddy. This was his far and away favorite person of the draft. Yeah, it's a great pick. I do love Coot Daddy. I think he's gonna be great in Winnipeg.
Yeah, and I think we've got a whole line now out of this draft, minus Fantobins. You got 2 forwards and 2 defensemen. Why don't we maybe look at adding a goalie later in the draft? Only time will tell. So that concludes the first round. We have Juke going first overall to Edmonton. S-Fresh 3 going second overall to Chicago. Chuck Stewart, that's user Gams, going 3 at Montreal. Johnny Hockey at 4 to Manhattan. Grindle Waters Johnson 5 to Minnesota. Kiwi Soderberg Snooks number 6 to Chicago. Number 7 Winnipeg drafted Hamper Lindholm. Number 8 Edmonton selects Royen Arma. Once again, Ara, you're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce your name. Number 9 Winnipeg grabs Chuck Lumbermouth. That's Leaky Syn. Number 10 Winnipeg also selects Jeremy Snugglemuffin III. That's Schwarz. Number 11, Hot Dog Lunch to New England. That's Papa John. Number 12, Barcus Juno, Ice Windu to the Forge in Philadelphia. 13, Buffalo selects Dejana Captina. That's Valpix. Number 14, Norman Marino, Jason97, goes to Minnesota. They traded up for him. So, Jason, Minnesota loves you, buddy. Number 15, that's going to be Z-Wiz. I forget Z-Wiz's name. It's
Puddles
not NA,
Duckling.
believe it or not.
Puddles
Duckling.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Atlanta identifies their guy. I scouted Z-Wiz quickly. I was like, hey, do you actually legitimately want to go back to Atlanta? He's like, absolutely. I was like, say less. I'm not talking to you anymore. And I moved on. Number 16, Edmonton grabs Javelin Bodine. Blix 900. Number 17, the short-term Aurora, Christina Fantobins goes there, but is dealt to the Buffalo Stampede almost instantaneously. Number 18, Nanashi Mume, that's Valor, going to New Orleans. Number 19, that's Yosh, don't know his name, but
Teddy Blues.
Teddy Blues goes to the Barracuda. And then we're going to wrap up that round once again with Coot Daddy coming to the Winnipeg Aurora here at 20.
Yeah, did we want to keep going, or do we want to take a break after the first round?
I am good to keep going here.
Keep rolling.
Sure, fire up. We got the second round on the clock. The Montreal Patriots are making their selection at pick 21. They're second of the class.
Yep, I have it ready here.
At pick 21, the Montreal Patriots are selecting Slava Kasayenko. I butchered that.
Kasayenko.
Sure. Yeah, the user Rengoku. He's got a solid TP count. The bank leaves a little to be desired, but I'm sure that's going to be worked on in the near future. I believe him and Ruggsy are actually planning to do a podcast together, from what I recall. Two Long Island boys chatting up about the SHL together. Yeah, he's a really great guy, really friendly. He's got some really cool tattoos as well. Doing most of his SHL stuff on mobile, but he's super active in the locker rooms. Very talkative Discord guy, and it's an excellent pick for the Patriots at this juncture.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this particular user, but yeah, I mean, obviously there's some value there. Good TPE, decently at least. Center, which is always going to be a very important position down the road. So, welcome to the Patriots there, Slava and Rengoku, and I hope you enjoy your new team.
I think Rengoku will be I think that would be a great pick too. I mean, this whole draft is insanely strong. Like, even into the second round, we're gonna see a bunch of picks here. I think where they all could have been first round picks too.
Do you hear that music in the background? Is that a trade coming?
Yes, we do have one of those. That's right. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I do believe the Chicago Syndicate are moving pick 22. The question is to who and for what?
Indeed. And I will let you know as soon as the trade is ready to... The trade screen is ready to go. If you'll notice, though, thanks to us, Fresh, the Puddles, a Duckling, and Teddy Blues have some names now.
Excellent work, S Fresh. Truly second overall worthy. Great job. Excellent work.
To have your name bestowed upon you by S Fresh again, it's like a rebirth.
There is no actual music in the background. It's just something to say. Leave me alone.
I can make, like, hold on, let me grab a recorder. I'll play some trade music.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll start scatting with you.
I think maybe I can click something to play the pick is in music, but
Ooh.
I don't know. I didn't want to get too funky with it. It's trying to set everything up and understand how it works with its own show.
Yeah, totally fair. Totally
Sometimes less is more, that's for sure.
But yeah, we're just waiting on the pick to get set up on our end. Just bear with us.
Yep, I'm just making sure we get it. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Yes, we are ready. And how do I put that on the screen? This way. There you go.
So the 22nd overall pick is moving to the Edmonton Blizzard in exchange for the season 80 Baltimore Platoon first round selection. So that's SAE first round Baltimore pick to Chicago in exchange for the season 79 Edmonton. So the Chicago pick at 22. This will leave Edmonton on the clock at 22, and their pick is in.
Yes. Do I have that ready? I should have that ready, but I don't think I have that ready.
They will be back-to-back selections now at 22 and 23.
I should have had that ready while I was waiting for the trade to be ready, but that would involve thinking ahead. All right, it's ready. We got 22 ready.
At 22, the Edmonton Blizzard are pleased to select Duke Howard. The user Detroit is Hockeytown. He's got 351 TP, a very solid bank. He's been very good in Quebec City Citadels from the reports of all my people there. Been an excellent person to chat with. We had a great scouting conversation. Everyone I've talked to said they really enjoyed talking to him, think he's a great guy. And we're very excited to be able to bring him into the Blizzard.
Yeah, I had some good chats with them. It was fun. Good first gen value pick here. You know, HIF is the king of value, as some other people have said to me. So, gotta love that.
No one says that to me.
Oh, you don't ever compliment someone else to their face. That's weird.
That's true. Who does that? Psychopaths. But 23 is Edmonton on the clock again.
Yep, and it is ready.
And they will be selecting the player QCC bot 4, the user Evok. If there's something you notice from this infographic at all, it should be 351 million SHL dollars. Over $250 million. Yeah, just a penny or two. Coming into, we have had 0 goaltender prospect in Edmonton. We have plenty of everything else, but 0 goalies as of the moment. So we're excited to finally have a goalie prospect, especially one of the caliber of the first, 3-time 2K TP player in SHL history. And we're stoked to bring in Evok. We think she's absolutely fantastic.
Good long history with this user. They're obviously really well liked around the community. They are the original founder of the Citadels that has turned into one of the top cultural groups in the SMJHL. I know one of my players that are well regarded, Pyro, comes from that team, and he's always sings the praises of that organization. So great pick here. Interesting to see our first goalie go at the beginning of the second round. Last draft we had one go in the first round, so it seems like goalies maybe are slipping a little bit, but I think we'll see a little bit of a goalie run in this round perhaps.
Yeah, this will bring pick 24 on the clock. It'll be the Manhattan Rage. But I think there's that fake music happening again.
Yes, indeed.
We have trades. There we go.
This time
Perfect.
We're ahead of the game, though, and we have the trade right here.
Excellent. So, Calgary is moving up to pick 24. They are trading pick 33, Buffalo's second this class, as well as their second round pick in S81 and their third round pick in season 80. So that's 3 selections, 2 seconds and a third for pick 24 heading to Calgary. And the Calgary Dragons are on the clock.
I really love this trade for both teams. You identify someone that you really want to grab and you move up to 24 to do it. But then, you're obviously going to have to pay a price for that, right?
I will say, I think Calgary saw their divisional rivals making a lot of moves, and they just had to get some going,
Yeah, absolutely. But I love that the Dragons were willing to go out and do that, and I love it for the Rage for actually getting some decent value in this move. So thumbs up to both GMs to make this happen.
And yes, at pick 24, the Calgary Dragons, they will be selecting. They'll take Aslak Hesnes. I butchered that horribly, but it's the user ZT Evans, longtime user. He's GM'd here before. He's been around a long time. Used to be a Dynamo. He's dialed a bit back his caliber of effort a little bit here, but he's still a wonderful person out of the locker room. He's still going to be earning TPE. People are going to be. I'm sure he's going to be getting that bank up soon, as well as contract money can help. He's absolutely fantastic. Hurricane fans, if you're one of the 6 people globally who cheer for that team, you've got a fellow one here for you. But just a great guy, and makes all the sense in the world for him to end up in Calgary.
Yeah, another guy that's been around for a long, long time, but took a long hiatus away from the community. My franchise, the Aurora, was formerly known as the Winnipeg Jets. He's a Winnipeg Jets legend. I was really hoping that based on his smaller bank account and maybe time away from the site, he would slip a little further. He's planning on building a really strong defensive defenseman long term. Enjoyed my chats with him. Good pick for Calgary here. Gotta love it.
At pick 25, it would actually be Seattle on the clock. They retain this pick in the trade to move up to 5. So the Argonauts will be selecting at this juncture, not Edmonton.
Oh. Okay. I did not think Seattle had any picks in this draft. Good to know. There we go.
But at pick 25, the Seattle Argonauts, they're going to be selecting Mike Bobcat, the player Jim Bob Ghostkeeper. Excellent player name, hailing from the Detroit Falcons. He's another first gen who's put in some great effort. He's got a decent bet count with great TP. Was really friendly when we chatted with him, and he's going to be heading up on that up and coming Seattle team that's now absolutely stocked up on picks and young talent.
Yeah, great first gen. High value pick here. Gotta love it. Yeah, Seattle's just doing good things over there.
And at pick 26, we have the Hamilton Steelhawks, first pick of the draft. They did move down from 6, out of the draft from 6, getting 2 firsts from Chicago. That will bring Hamilton on the clock here. They will be selecting. Are we ready for that?
Yes.
All right. They would be selecting Hughes Incorporated. These are Lumosity fans. Heading to the Steelhawks. Coming in with some excellent TP, even if the bank's a little light. Main focus is PBE, but with the affiliate TPE, they'll be getting those PTs in, week out. Brings some great energy, and yeah, Hamilton's got to be pleased to get their guy at pick 26.
At 27, we are forfeiting.
Yep, yep. A long history of the passport family. Winnipeg really wanted to get in line with that, and they're just too good. They just didn't need it.
Hey, it's a steal. It's a steal at this point to get a forfeit in the second round and not the first round. So
Yeah. We consider ourselves very fortunate. This is a forfeit due to GM tasks being late, like literally a calendar year ago, but we didn't have any second round picks until then, so they took this one. But yeah. We can move on.
Pick 28, the Minnesota Monarchs are on the clock. They will be trading this pick, however. There is a trade with the New Orleans Spectres in the wings.
Is there? Yes, this was already traded. That trade happened.
Already traded, sorry, yes. But the New Orleans Spectres will be on the clock. And they will be taking the user Nordic. Sorry, go ahead.
I do not have that one ready. Sorry.
All good. Yeah, take your time.
Paused what I was doing, and I was about to go pull up the trade screen, and we don't need to. All right, now we're ready.
Yep, they will be selecting the user Nordic Nailer, the player Abe Was. I'm sure I butchered that again, but my apologies. Excellent defenseman. I know a couple teams I've talked to, they had this guy pretty high on their board. It really speaks to like how deep this draft is that they're available at pick 28. But they're a great user, great conversation, like really friendly as well. TP is good. Bank's a little light, but you can fix bank. It just takes a little bit of time and putting that work in. And yeah, I think it's a great pick for the Spectres at 28 to be able to grab Naylor.
And what a mustache on that render. That's
it
fantastic.
Is pretty solid mustache.
It's a very strong mustache. I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
Leads the J in mustache per 60 right now.
Next on the clock, pick 29, it's the Winnipeg Aurora.
Again? Us?
Another one!
Another
Yeah,
one.
you simply can't and won't stop, it seems.
What is this, like 10 picks already?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's just defined as excessive, is the number.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a fun one. I'm
Sorry, I have to
pretty
find the
excited about
player.
this.
How to spell this name?
particular one.
All
Yeah,
right,
I know. You got to do some research for this one, huh?
we're ready.
Definitely.
All right. Why don't we throw it up there? I am stoked to bring back Symmetric to the Winnipeg Aurora. Previous player was a career Aurora. Was really, when I saw him create a goalie, I was like, no, like I don't really. And then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, I do need a goalie after Carpy's done. So why don't we bring Symmetric back and put them back in the system? And hey, I mean, it beats having to meet a whole new locker room, right? What are your thoughts on coming back to Winnipeg?
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be great to go back to Winnipeg. I looked after I created a goalie. I was like, oh, I knew you guys had Carpy for a while, so I was like, oh, would they need another goalie? I wasn't sure, and then I looked, maybe.
Yeah, we're super happy to bring you back, and this just caps off a fantastic draft for the Aurora. We can't be happier.
Yeah, it has looked pretty good. I've liked what I've seen.
Yeah, no, Sim is you've put a lot of work in. I saw your mock draft media. I feel like I was one of the people that absolutely made sure it looked butchered, just for you. But you put a lot of work in. You've got that management experience. You played at Winnipeg on your last player your whole career. It's a great fit for sure. Second goalie taken, just an excellent spot for sure.
Now this one, though, enough about me.
We do have another trade to announce.
We do actually have a trade to announce.
There's a trade.
There is that music.
And it's ready.
But yeah, that's it's going to be pick 30 heading to the Edmonton Blizzard in exchange for their season 83 second and season 83 fourth round pick. So Edmonton back on the clock, not to be outdone by Winnipeg at pick 30. And I know in your mock draft that you really, really, really love this player, so I had to take them Symmetric. Just let me know when you're ready with the player. We'll be good to go.
Oops. Ignore that. You didn't see anything there. Alright. Just minimizing windows. Yes, I am ready.
Yeah, at pick 30, the Edmonton Blizzard are selecting I'm a Newbie, the user Yeti Taz, coming from the Newfoundland Berserkers. It is the AI art render of someone just completely confused and not knowing anything. But he's been a dynamo of talking, energy. He's been earning TP well. He's got a decent bang size. And we're just excited to bring in someone of his caliber in the room, especially at pick 30, and just, able to have those monstrous food takes in our locker room for sure.
Yeah.
So how many picks is that for you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Okay.
Yeah. I just gotta one up you always.
That's fair.
Does the forfeit count? I don't know. That still gives
Nope,
Winnipeg
nope.
7, I think.
No, okay. Then Fantovens doesn't count either. Get rid of that.
It says Winnipeg on the board.
Yeah. I just like seeing my team's name up there.
Yeah, that's always fun. You get the James Dolan vibe where you're just always trying to you can't let your team trade the pick because you want to make the pick. You want to be on the TV.
That's right.
But let's bring pick 31 on the clock. That is the Minnesota Monarchs making the selection.
Well, before they make that selection, they do have to trade for it.
Oh, unbelievable.
Because right now it's in Texas's hands. And
Yeah, I guess the Renegades will be making a quick move here.
Yep. And it is this one. There. That's the trade right there.
Yeah, they will be moving pick 31 to Minnesota, as mentioned, for pick 34 and pick 54, heading to Texas. So this will have Minnesota on the clock, and they will be ready to make their trade. Pick, Jesus. Apologies.
They are ready. I am not quite ready. Minnesota and the player.
While we're at this, we're going to thank our sponsors, Dunkin' Donuts, for keeping us fueled up for this draft. If you haven't checked it out, check out their new Dunka Latte with coffee milk and espresso. And now back to the draft.
Yep, we do have the pick for Minnesota here at 31. So
At 31, the Minnesota Monarchs are going to be selecting Dieter Frühstruck. It's German. I can't pronounce it. 2 umlauts is too many for me. But that'll be Blues Fan 55 heading to the Minnesota Monarchs. Long-time user with an excellent bank and TPE, playing a prime position of defense. It's going to be a key piece for the Monarchs moving forward at their rebuild or retool or just kind of progression as they go forward. I don't know what they're calling it. You'd have to ask Eddie.
fun fact, I am learning German, and Frühstück actually just means breakfast. So it's Dieter breakfast.
What does Dieter mean?
I think it's just a name. I'll be honest, Duolingo has not given me that word yet, so.
Yeah, that's it's a good pick by Minnesota. Getting good value at their selection at pick 31. .32, the Forge will be on the clock, and they'll be keeping their pick. Nothing too crazy.
Yes, fortunately we do not have to announce back-to-back-to-back trades, just 2 in a row. So I have your pick ready.
Yeah, at 32, the Philadelphia Forge will be selecting Jacob Marsh. The user MT Streaks 04. I believe their Discord username is the Yiser Plan, so definitely a Red Wings fan. I'm not sure how they're feeling about the Yiser Plan at this point still. It's been a couple years at this point, and not too much to show for it. But they were a great person, really fun to scout and chat with. The bank's a little light, happens to be the concern of a lot of the people at this draft, like at this position. But they're definitely a great person to bring into a locker room. If you can turn that bank account around, they're going to be a fantastic pick at this selection, for sure.
Absolutely. Teammate of mine in Newfoundland. They've been a good teammate right there, so I'm excited. I think I put them in the first round, right at the end of the first round in my mock draft. So that's like the whole thing with this draft is like any of these players that have just been picked could have been first rounders.
Yeah, absolutely. The margins aren't wide. Like a lot of classes, there's a very steep fall off. But honestly, there's just so much talent even going through like this pick here. Just some great users.
Yeah, and this pick is actually Manhattan. I think that was part of the earlier trade. I think this included when Calgary got 24th, if I am not mistaken. Yes.
But yeah, so that'll bring that, like I said, Manhattan on the clock at pick 33. And they will be doing the obvious thing and bringing back Kenneth Lind, their co-GM Canadus. Canadus is a wonderful person, very smart, does a lot of the back-end stuff, like the analytics and the charts and everything. He's done wonderful work with COA in Manhattan, and yeah, you're legally obligated to take him, so gotta take him here. It's a great pick.
Yep. And I was definitely not late on getting them drafted up. It's fine. We all knew what they were doing anyway. This is Texas. Yes. Texas got this pick from Minnesota in the swap for 31. And let me make sure I remember who they drafted. Wait.
This is the New England Wolfpack. There's another trade, I believe.
Yes, there
Let me
is.
see if I can find it.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Trade.
So there's actually 2 trades. Wait.
Also, Dieter is German for one who diets.
Ah. So it's
One who
eats
diets breakfast.
Yep.
One who only eats breakfast, I guess. Honestly, not a bad life. I could live with that.
So we do have 2 trades to announce. Technically, this one came in first, though pick 34, we can't progress without it. But Manhattan gets the 2nd round pick. Oh, it was there for a second. GMs are submitting their trades in funky orders here, but Manhattan gets 38, and San Francisco gets Calgary's 2nd round pick. So that SFP pick at 38 becomes Texas. Manhattan, sorry. It's Texas's 2nd round pick. Goes to Manhattan from SFP.
I like how Minnesota gets nothing in the graphic.
Classic.
In progress. Alright, and then we have...
Oh, we have another trade, right?
Yes, and I've switched away from it. Well, it is prepared. The one between New England and Texas for this pick, 34.
Trading time. Time to make some trades now. Is that better than the do-do-do? We got a lot of complaints about the do-do-dos in chat.
Well, if they don't like it, we can fight them.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
I think that's the pick. I think that's the sound we have for the pick is in. If I had the ability, if I was brave enough to press that button, I think that's the sound it would make.
I gotta go get a drink from the bubbler.
Not the bubbler.
The bubbler.
But yeah, so I think we have Texas on the clock now?
They will be trading this pick.
Okay, so it's going to be New England on the clock at the end of everything.
Yeah. Yes, we have a little bit of a swap here. Sorry, GM's. There was another trade. That trade for 38 came in before this trade for 34, but so we were a bit out of order there. There was some trading, quite a bit of trading here late in the second. 31 swapped for 34, and then now 38 swapped, and now 34, and another.
Honestly, I think we might just stop announcing all of the trades and just put them on the sheet. We'll be posting on the site afterwards, so you can see how it happens. But there's so many trades, and it's going to take forever to get through them all.
There's this one, and then there's one more 2nd round pick, and then for 3rd round on, we can.
Yeah, we've got a large amount, so it might not hurt to start moving on to the actual picks.
All right. Do you want to just move on from here, or do you want to?
Yeah, sure. We can have New England. They'll be on the clock, and they will be taking a player whose name matches their username. It's going to be Tim.
I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it ready yet. Yes, but the trade was 34 and 76, I think, for 36 and like a S81 pick, I think. I'll get you the exact details of the trade in a second. Yeah, 34 and 78 for 36 and 51. And this pick belongs to New England now, and we're ready.
Yeah, New England is going to be selecting Tip Toasty. The user Tip Toasty. I love when the player name matches the username. Coming from the Thunder Bay Walleye, hopefully their name fits in the graphic, now that S-Fresh has fixed it. They were super fun to talk to. The TP is great. The bank, already in the negatives is definitely a concern. But New England is good at, getting people back on track, money-wise. Great user, and they're going to be a solid fit on the Wolfpack.
Yes, indeed. They were someone I noted in the mock draft as like Banks looking a little sketchy, but they've been putting in the effort for sure. Yeah, we have.
Can't argue with the results. New England knows what they're doing.
We have another trade here. which is 35th overall, going to New Orleans. And Toronto is getting a S83 second and 4th from New Orleans. So this is actually the Spectres on the clock right now. I have to keep scrolling to find where we are.
Unrelated, I've confirmed I'm getting a filet and a loaf of sourdough in the mail from Duke from his wedding. So it seems like the pick was worth it.
Hell yeah.
In the mail, huh?
Yeah, just Canada Post or UPS or whatever the U.S. version of it is.
Everybody loves a good mail steak.
USPS. Very fun.
Auspice.
At least if I order something from the U.S. and they ship it through USPS, it comes through Canada Post and they, drop it off in my mailbox instead of at the door where it'll get stolen. So I'm trying to remember the name of this player or the order of the alphabet here. So give me a second. There it is.
The A is the first letter.
All right, so it's New Orleans on the clock, and we got the pick ready.
Yeah, we taking a former Toronto North Star Grape Hat, the player Jeff Kirkstone III, goaltender heading to the New Orleans Spectres. Back's good, TP is good, Grape Hat's good, good person. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they GM or co-GM the Portland Admirals back in the day?
That's correct.
Was he GM? I know he was the starting goalie.
I thought he had some management experience there. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, he was definitely in Portland.
Yeah.
Good guy. Excellent pick at this juncture of the draft. New Orleans is getting a great pick with Jeff Kirkstone III.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Great user. Somebody that we had our eyes on in case somebody sniped him. So I like the pick.
This was Texas. Let's swap for 34 and the swap where New England picked up 34. They gave 36 to Texas.
Yep, Texas on the clock at 36.
Yes, indeed.
Do trade.
I just looked at this player name. There we go. Brain is not braining. Alright, and we have Texas pick ready.
Yep, so I'm going to, before we announce the player, there's been a contest of who, is the most chaotic person in this draft class. Several people have said, Sink or Yeti, but for my money, not even in a close situation, no Rengoku, this user has to maintain the most chaotic individual for my money in this class. The pick going to Texas will be Mr. Ruhu, the player DeJoe Anderson. He's super fun to talk to. He's a great guy. The Phil Kessel hot dog render, always a crowd favorite. He's been around a while. His last player was on Newfoundland back in the day. We played around similar time as a season before me there, but he's a really good guy. He's got a lot of stories, and it's just always fun to talk to Ruhu. And heading to Texas is going to be a great spot for him for sure.
Yes, indeed. And this next pick is not traded, so we're good. That's nice.
Yeah, next on the clock, the Baltimore platoon will be selecting.
Oops. That's fine. Yes, they will. And
The platoon will be taking Anthony Louchard, the user Lushi heading there. I know this user has a brother and a cousin who's also in this class. A lot of family connections. But they were good to talk to. Excellent user. The bank's a little light, but again, this is all something you can work on at this point of the draft. No one's coming without at least something to improve a little bit coming into their SHL team, and he's going to be a very solid pick for the platoon. Friendly guy, and he's going to fit that culture in well with Trips.
Yeah, at this point, you're just looking for value, right? Anything with the potential of panning out into a legitimate SHL player, and you gotta give Trips the benefit of the doubt here. I'm sure Luch is a great prospect. I didn't have a chance to chat with them, but yeah, I mean, good TPE for this far into the draft. To Symmetric's point earlier, like a lot of these guys can, the margin of difference between them are just so slim.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like there's still so many good choices available. But we do have Manhattan up next, and we're ready with that one.
Yep, the Manhattan Rage will be on the clock. They'll be taking Chaos Draft, the user J-Bait. Their last player, Max Menning. I think they led the league in goals, points, once or twice. We're an absolute dynamo in Seattle. Trail out of the career, they ended up in Winnipeg at some point. I think they went to another place or two as well. Coming in with more of a relaxed approach with this player. They are, still here to earn, but maybe not as full throttle as they did with their last player, which is understandable. It's going to be a great pick for Manhattan still at this point. Great user with a hefty bank account heading to the Rage.
Yeah, I was muted. Great user. Really enjoyed them when they were with us in Winnipeg on their last player. I think that this has the potential of, I've already said it once, but another potential of maybe being a steal of the draft. Because if Jay somehow does get that itch rekindled and gets going again, they had already made one 2K player. Obviously a little bit behind on TPE, but can easily turn it around at this stage of their career. There's a lot of potential here for this selection for the Manhattan Rage. I love it.
We do have Tampa up next, and they keep this pick.
Yep, the Tampa Bay Barracuda on the clock. Dwight, after his quick scouting today, he'll be taking the user That Guy 131, the player Ivan Ivanovich. Fantastic name for the record, coming out of the Berserkers. TP is very light at this point. The sub 300 TP. It's got to be about the money concerns, not able to get coach or anything. But he's active. He's here. He's a good guy to chat with. Money's a fixable thing. It's not permanent. Anyone can start earning money. So he's going to be a good pick for DK. I think he's great at getting a lot of these guys on track, helping them get some personalized help with how to earn. Maybe some suggestions for media, graphics, podcasts, whatever. I think he's going to be one of those guys DK turns around and turns into a later gem.
Yeah, he was a waiver pickup too, so it was I can't remember which week, but I think it was fairly late into the season, so we'll be
behind totally fair
a little bit as well. This is Toronto. They keep this pick. Good. We have Toronto's pick ready here.
Okay. Yep. The Toronto North Stars. They will be selecting. Me Cool is going to win the cup. The user McGritty 10. The bank's a bit low. The TP's doing all right. But his last player, longtime Texas player, will now be heading to a different team of the Eastern Conference, the Toronto North Stars.
Montreal at 41 is your first pass of the draft.
Who had their money on Montreal?
actually Chicago? Yes, Chicago sticks with 42. And we will prepare the next one. I immediately forgot the name. Oh yeah. It's quite the talent to look at the draft and who was drafted, and then 4 seconds later forget the name of the player who was drafted. But we do have Chicago's pick ready.
Excellent. Yeah, the Chicago Syndicate at this pick will be selecting Big Swag, the user's Samsung Virtual Assistant. Very solid bank and TPE-wise. A Newfoundland alum through and through. Nike does love dipping into the Berserkers S79 SHL team to pillage them for prospects. And it's going to be a good pick for a familiar face at this point.
Yes, indeed.
Next up, we will have the Hamilton Steelhawks selecting again.
See if I can find the name. I should have done something with these renders to make it easier for me to find the ones that I haven't used yet. Make the list shorter and shorter, which would make my life easier and easier. But we don't think ahead here, so we're working on it. But we do have the next one ready.
Yeah, so they will be selecting Dominic Anselmo, the user GayBD out of Vancouver. Waiver pickup, he's earned TP at an excellent rate. The bank, again, is a bit of a concern. You want to see that fixed in the near future. But it's going to be a very solid pick for the Vancouver Whalers. The Hamilton Steelhawks.
Yeah, this was another waivers player, so TP is slightly lower, but they created a few weeks later. I want to say they got like 21 catch-up TPE, but I could be wrong. It might have been 18 or something, but that's my basis for how far behind people were when I was doing my mock draft, was I would look at how much catch-up TPE they got.
More of a mustard TPE guy.
Absolutely.
It was very confusing the first time I saw it in the portal, and I was like, what the heck is cut PE?
That's when they're taking it away from you, yeah.
Manhattan.
But Manhattan's going to pass at 44 and 45. Going to break Baltimore up at 46.
Yes. It says Hamilton, but that's because it used to be Hamilton, and they traded with Baltimore. 46
trade.
46 overall goes to Baltimore in exchange for an S81 third, Baltimore's own pick. And I have to look up who they pick because I was at the trade screen. Right, so Baltimore at 46, there is your pick.
Yeah, and they'll be reuniting with Wildfire Micro. The player Darby Resner went from being a Pokemon to a wrestler, coming in with a pretty good bank account TP, reuniting with a place in Baltimore that they both seem to like having around. A mutual interest for sure.
Winnipeg has passed here at
We have, yes.
47. 48 is Minnesota, and I can confirm it is still Minnesota. Keep opening programs that I shouldn't be opening. Misclicks. Next up in the draft is someone that many people had in their listed in their top 10 mock draft submission, which bit of a wild pick, but you know,
Yep.
the old copycats.
At 48, Minnesota's going to be selecting Ella Solberg, the user Kaname Ray. Another Solberg sister, joining the the Solberg twins in Calgary. She's a bit of a quieter person, but she's been great. TP earnings good. The money's pretty solid this juncture of the draft. I know that like a couple teams right after were looking at her. Calgary picking shortly after. You had to know that the following pick they were probably eyeing her, but it's going to be a good pick for the Monarchs, who are stocked to the brim on goaltender prospects to come battle out.
Yes, I bet maybe Calgary wanted them with the next pick right after this. But no dice.
But as I mentioned, this will bring the Calgary Dragons on the clock at pick 49.
Yep, and it's ready.
What a render. Holy smokes.
They will be taking Wall Billy Koala, the user Noru of Iceland, heading to the Calgary Dragons. I know Noru plays some D&D with Naomi, so it's one of their friends there. The bank's a bit light, the TP's a little light, but those are things you can definitely work on improving with someone. And again, being able to bring your friend in who's got some an excellent render and some interest in the league, doing decently so far, is a very solid selection at pick 49.
50 was traded. Let me get it.
Do.
Buffalo acquires 50th overall from Toronto for an S81 third and fourth, both Buffalo's own picks.
Yeah, and this will apologies, will bring the Stampede on the clock, and they will be selecting Lucas Snyder, the user just here to leave. A Maple Leaf fan. The username, could probably be a little concerning if you're looking at just that. But this isn't their first player. They've been around a while. Played on QCC with their past player on main this time. Bank and TP are pretty excellent for this point of the draft, honestly. Someone who could be able to maintain some steady earning, and a solid pick for the Stampede.
I thought they were actually a waiver create, but I see that does say they were drafted 40th overall. So I was going to give some extra props there, but I'm wrong.
It's alright, they're just here to leave anyway.
Texas at 51. Texas has pick 51 and they keep it here, and we're ready to go.
Yep, ready when you are.
Yep.
Texas is going to be selecting Blake Hutchinson. These are JMac 2201. TP is very good at 328. The negative $1.4 million is again, a little bit of a concern, but money is always fixable. They're a good person. I talked to them a bit, and it's going to be a good chance for Texas, who throws a lot of darts and ends up with a lot of great users in the later rounds that maybe other teams don't have the mental fortitude to stick in the draft that long to try to find. It's me, I'm the person.
Stack all your picks in the first 2 rounds and then coast from there.
I am happy to report that Rashford is still receiving Winnipeg trade offers.
That's great.
Calgary's up because Philadelphia passes at 52. And I immediately forgot the name because I started speaking. Oh, there we go. All right. So Calgary at 53, we have ready.
Yeah, Calgary is going to be taking Josie Cass, the user Unjust Television. Again, that's a fantastic bank. The TP is a little light. But if you can keep them around and get them earning, they're going to be a very good spot moving forward.
This TP
should be a.
Continue. Good. I'll add it.
Yeah, no, it looks like a very good pick for Calgary, especially at 53. That's a good looking player profile to be taken at that point.
Yeah, I had them as like a high second round pick potentially because their TP is low, but they created basically like as late as you possibly can, and they had not missed a task. They didn't actually miss any tasks. They'd done everything, but they just started that late that their TPE is just lower. So like if you get someone who's never gonna miss a task, and they're 50 TP behind because they started a couple weeks later, that's very strong. It's a huge pickup potentially.
Absolutely. 54 Texas is going to be on the clock.
Yes, this was part of an earlier trade in the second round, I think.
You say trade? Do.
Already been announced. Yeah, they got 54 in the trade for 31 and 34 swap. Somewhere in there. How do I... Right, this way. Texas. Alright, we are good to go here for Texas's pick at 54.
Yeah, Texas at 54 is going to be selecting Badger Hennessy. These are Castorberus. Excellent render again, if a bit wild. But yeah, the TP and bank are looking very, very decent for this point of the draft. Looks like a very solid pick for Texas. The player profile is looking like unheard of at this point of the draft for most classes, which is again a testament to just how strong this class is, and should be a good Texas pick.
Yeah, potentially. That's a recreate. I think it had pretty decent TP on their previous player. Atlanta at 55 and SFP at 56 both pass. Oops. So we are up to New Orleans with back-to-back picks.
Yeah, at 57, the Spectres are going to be selecting Fingolfin and Ringle, the player Levon Jokic. They're a big-time Lord of the Rings fan. They love the Simulacrum, I think the name of the book is. Big on the lore there, as you can tell by their username. A waiver pickup for Vancouver. They've been great there. The bank's a little light, but the TP's real good. And if they can get earning that cash, it's going to be real good. Plus, who doesn't love a Yager render, right?
Yes, of course. And New Orleans is ready to go again.
Yeah, at 58, the New Orleans are selecting Joe09, the player Oatmeal Joseph Stoder. Joe09 is a long time user, hence why the banking is so high. The TP is very low. They've come back and forth on players. But if you can keep Joester around and earning with that big bank, it's going to be a great pick at this juncture for them. Also, if I say juncture one more time, you have to drink. I think that's the rule.
That's right. I said injection of things like 4 times, so...
Yeah, but I like when you talk about injecting things.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the clock at 59, the Tampa Bay Barracuda will be making their selection.
Yes, they do, and they keep that pick. So that is good. They keep the pick. They don't pass. And we're ready with it.
Yeah, they will be selecting Reflirt, the player Devin Raplia. Heading to the Barracuda, they come with the TP and backhand are a bit light, but a primo position like defense. If you can get them turned around and get earning it. You can get some absolute steals late in the draft that just feel real great as a GM, and DK definitely does specialize in that. Pick 60 is on the clock with the LA Panthers making their first pick.
Yeah, this pick is supposed to be LA. I don't see a trade for it. I'm not sure if this is just I'm not sure why it was New England, but it's LA. They hold their own pick. And this is their first of the draft.
Yeah, LA is looking to select. They will be taking Charles Louchard, the second Louchard sibling, heading in this class to the champion LA Panthers. TP is pretty good, 297, 1.1 million. You've got them active on Discord. They're reachable, so you can definitely get them active and earning. It could be a real solid pick in the future. We will pass at 61 with Chicago making their next pick at 62.
Yes, we do. Yep. What a render that is.
Yeah, you do have to love an Empoleon, but an Empoleon on skates is something to behold for sure. But okayest Boomer heading to the Chicago Syndicate. They've got 13 million in the bank with 254 TP, and hopefully they can turn into a solid future defenseman for the Syndicate.
63, 64, and 65 are all passes once again. Actually, this is the first time Seattle has passed, but Edmonton and Manhattan already passed. No, this is the first pass for Edmonton as well. Sorry.
I'm a Pokemon purist. I don't know what an Empoleon is, so.
Yeah, anything after 150, 151 is dead.
Yeah.
So you're Gen 1 then.
Hey, Gen 4 is alright, and then things get a little crazy, but
If you have a Pokemon that is an ice cream cone, that's my line, I think.
Okay,
That's
be
like
fair.
This one that's literally like a trash bag?
Gen 2 through 3, or Gen 2 through 4 are fine.
Yeah.
My real line is the ice cream. I can't do it there.
That's 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly.
That's
What
Gen
about
5.
the trash bag one? Isn't there a trash bag one?
Yeah.
I do appreciate
And
my
five.
representation being shown in a Pokemon, so I can understand that one.
Mm.
But I digress. We're going to have, at 66, the Hamilton Steelhawks selecting Jeremy Louchard, the third of the 3 Louchard siblings. Lucy 31 heading to Hamilton. Excited to see them all drafted in the same class, and hopeful for all of their future SHL careers moving forward.
Yes. I just had to make sure they kept that pick. Yeah, there you go. I got the graphic there. We're a bit slow. Winnipeg passes and Minnesota passes, both passing for the first time. So Calgary is up at 69. Nice.
The vaunted 69th overall pick this class. The Dragons will be making it. They'll be dipping into the Yukon Malamute prospect pool, and they'll be taking Jakub Alexa, the user Kybel, a Czech user. They've come in with some good energy as a waiver wire pickup. It could be Calgary does love taking a goalie every draft. He's active and could end up being a real good pick for their prospect pool.
Yeah. I mean, he put up some of the best numbers in the SMJHL last season after coming in starting pretty late.
I will say that Toast is listening in, and after our discussion, he has now decided to shiny hunt the ice cream purely out of spite. So shout out Toast for putting yourself through literal hell just to prove a point.
70, Toronto. Sorry, hold on. Toronto, New England, Philly, Buffalo, New Orleans, Atlanta, San Francisco all pass. So we have 77 Baltimore on the clock.
Wait, oh no, 69. That was pick number 69. I didn't even notice. Congrats!
Yeah, congrats, Kybel.
That's awesome. You'll tell your kids one day that you were drafted 69th overall.
I was also picked 69th overall.
It's a
I
very
picked myself
pick
69.
usually.
I did pick myself 69 too.
GM picks are easy to make at 69. You get them for
I feel like if you're a GM of the draft,
you
you just have to get 69 and take yourself. That's the rule. But yeah, 77, the platoon. I don't know how their parents decided to name them, but I don't think they were loved when they were named. It's TBFAW, the user TBFAW, heading to the Baltimore platoon. The bank and TP is a little light, coming from the San Diego title, but all those things are very easy to turn around. I've seen much lower TP accounts turn into very important parts of SHL Cup winning teams. So it's definitely not a death sentence at this point or anything. There's more than enough time to get the bank together and start earning and make a very good player.
This pick was part of the earlier trade between New England and Texas at 34 and 36. So this one belongs to Texas. I keep accidentally clicking on Steam when I'm trying to click on the Windows File Explorer.
Yeah, but our next pick will be Texas at 78.
Yes, it will. And it is ready to go. Oh my.
And we would take the relative of Sean Avery. It'll be Ian Avery. Looks like it might be his grandfather. But that's Red Wings 26135. TP is a little low, but the bank is kind of decent for this point of the draft. Going for the Ottawa Highlanders and heading to the Texas Renegades, where they'll get to be part of a very strong team moving forward.
Who is that render?
I do not know yet. Does anyone have info on it?
I could not tell you. Yeah, I assume if they have a render, it's probably from their page. It might be on their page in the portal.
He looks a little old to be in the J.
He pulled out that birth certificate that says I am 12 with a picture of his face on it.
That's great.
And that works for the J eligibility. Honestly, they're not too tight on it.
We have a pass at 79, which is Tampa, and we have LA again, finally joining the
LA
draft.
back to back actually. So
yes,
we pass at 81 as well.
There's a trade at 82 for LA acquiring that pick. Which
It's Warren Buffett apparently. Rugsy looked it up.
Excellent. Okay. He's made an investment in his own hockey career, and that's why he's got a decent amount of money left. At pick 80, the LA Panthers are going to be selecting Jervis Arbranger, the player CBX. Excellent player name, honestly. Love that. The bank, negative 1.1, something to fix in the future for sure. TP's pretty solid at 278, nearing that 300 mark, which is a really good mark at this point in their J career. Hopefully they can turn around in LA on a fantastic and very strong team.
LA trades for this pick. Sorry, let me prepare the next graphic. And then I'm pull up the trade. Okay, so the trade, LA sends, this involves a player or two here, so LA sends Nathan Meager to Chicago in exchange for the Syndicate's 5th round pick in S79, which is number 82 in the draft. The good news is that is our final trade of the draft.
Sad.
We did it.
We do have some more picks to make still, though, including LA's right here.
Yeah, and LA's going to take Max Kagan, the user of the Kaganator. The TP and money are concerns, but those are things that are easy to turn around. If you can get in contact with them, defenseman's a great position, and coming from the Scarecrows, you hope to see him come back and be a wonderful player on that Panthers roster.
Hamilton's up next here. Okay, that's not what I want to do. go. Hamilton at 80 something, 6. Takes Clark Kent. Superman in the draft. It's a pretty big steal if you can get Superman at pick 86, I think.
Yeah, if you're going to get superhero, someone that is only stoppable like Kryptonite, which is very hard to acquire, I've tried. I think it's going to be an excellent pick. The bank and the TP again still a little low, but if you can get them working, it's going to be a great pick.
Yeah, it's always the challenge to see if you can get these people to come back to the league after they seem to dip off. They start strong and then it kind of falls off, but if you can get them to reignite some interest, I mean, you have a chance here to get some steals. Baltimore 97 is next year.
Yeah, Baltimore is going to be taking Bernard Cochise, user dynamic MLB 42. They are mostly focused on affiliate TP. The SHL is their main league, but they're an active person. Easy to reach. They've got a decent sized bank. TP's a little light, but again, hopefully you can get them hitting the grindstone and becoming a long-term SHL player.
Yeah, I mean 261 at this point is not bad. We're talking about players. We're almost at pick 100 here, but 260 TP is it's workable.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Texas right after that is still going.
Yeah, and they are going to take Miko Medeski, the user Leafier, heading to the Renegades at this point. Minus 500,000, 212 TP. Odds are a bit low at this point, but if you can get them coming back, anything is possible. Kevin Garnett, HFFO, Michael Scott.
And we have LA going again. They
Yep,
the first
LA is going to be picking at 100. They're going to take Zygmunt Popovics, the user Bloomy GB, heading to the Panthers at pick 100.
Done. Sometimes it doesn't like to refresh the page. Yep. Yeah, Zygmunt Popovics.
Similar boat. The TP and money's a bit of a concern, but it could be a good goaltender. Old time pad style and helmet, which you'll love to see. Got the Dominator player cage going, which is pretty cool. But yeah. And there will be a 106 for the Hamilton selection.
Yep. We're getting off the board here a little bit, but it's fine. There you go. Oh, strong render.
Yeah, they're going to take Darren Turner Yell, the user Oil King. Bank is pretty solid. TP is very low. Hopefully you can get him back and earning, but yeah, could be an interesting pick to keep an eye on moving forward. And then our last pick of the draft, we have
Final pick.
Mr. Irrelevant, the Baltimore Platoon at 117. And they will be taking Gregory Erickson, the goaltender out of the Nevada Battleborn. 10 Zeno, 222 TP, 850,000 in the bank. Hope and a prayer, but it would be really awesome to see him come back. They're using a player for their goalie render, so they got the visor helmet, which is pretty fun.
That's quite dangerous, but I admire the bravery of going out there.
Yeah, they must have a very high bravery rating in the player page for sure. But that's our draft for this year. I hope you all enjoyed your landing spots and enjoyed the draft, and you have a wonderful time moving forward.
Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It was a ton of fun today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day and your new teams.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.